a regular here at Jai Tai, a very funny guy, always a pleasure to see him. Make some noise for Jason Goad!
Sean Murphy, everybody. Keep it going for him, doing a great job tonight.
I thought you were a bouncer.
You thought I was a bouncer? Well, come up, sit on my belly. You can bounce on it all you want. Hi, how you doing, everybody? Good. You know, something I was wondering about recently, do you guys think that there's an opposite to OCD? Because if there is, I think that's what I have. Like, I came home the other night drunk and just dropped a bunch of taco wrappers on my floor, and I was like, well, I guess those go there now. And in the morning, when I leave to go to work, one half of my brain goes, did we shut off the stove? And the other half of my brain goes, shut up, you idiot. If it burns, we can start over. Quite honestly, I don't think I make enough money to have OCD. Have you seen what shit costs? Swiffer pads, rubber gloves, mood medicine. No way, man. That's why when I buy products, everything I have to buy has to be multi-use. That's how cheap vodka becomes mouthwash and hand sanitizer. And that's how my socks also become Kleenex. Some people won't get into an elevator if they have OCD. Not this guy, man. It was like, what floor is this shit on? I don't know if my OCD will let me get in there. 13? Fuck it, I'm getting in the elevator. I'd rather have OCD than a heart attack. Oh, man. People like to self-medicate for the OCD. You know, we're actually a nation of like luxury illnesses. People, and I'm not saying that I don't think OCD is real. I'm very well aware that it is real. But what I am saying is that the people who tell you that they have OCD are not the people who have it. They're telling you that they have it because they're the assholes that don't want to have a conversation with you because you're interrupting them watching nutshot videos on YouTube. And they just don't have the ability to multitask. You can self-medicate for OCD, which is why it's an exciting thing that we now have legalized marijuana in the state of Washington. I am excited about that. I'm excited, but not for the reasons that a lot of other people are excited. The reason I'm excited about legalized marijuana is because I want to see how they market marijuana without marketing it towards children. Well, let's actually be honest, you know, kids, they don't really need marijuana because they're already irritating and hard to talk to. But the fact is that kids and stoners, they like the same shit. So you could never have a commercial that shows what pot really does, because that would just be a commercial of a guy leisurely watching cartoons and eating Captain Crunch in his underwear. And then kids would be like, oh, that's what we're supposed to be afraid of? That shit looks pretty good. So you'd have to figure out a way to make marijuana look like the most boring product that there is. With maybe a commercial of a middle-aged man cleaning his grout while listening to free jazz. In fact, you could actually put it together with other boring products and create some marketing synergy, like every eighth of marijuana comes with 101 recipes for quinoa. Or every eighth of marijuana comes with the black and white DVD of a silent movie. What I'm saying is what we need to do is we need to stop the process that gets the fun switch turned on in kids' heads with marijuana. So like at the time when it gets into the grocery store, you can't even put it near the fun stuff, not next to the Doritos and the nacho dip. You know, keep that far away. Because shit in the grocery store, you know how they have stuff that goes together? Peanut butter's next to the jelly, chips next to the soda, milk next to the eggs. You'd have to put pot next to the Geritol. It was like Metamucil, Geritol, marijuana. One-stop shopping for the discerning geriatric. It would also make like peer shaming really weird for a while. Because then you'd have a kid who figures out what happens and he goes up to his buddies and goes, hey guys, want to go beneath the bleachers and get high? And the other kids would be like, go get high? What are you, 50? Like, yeah, let's all go get high. We'll go to the bleachers and smoke a dude. We'll get high. And then after that, you know what we'll do? We'll go over to Denny's and then we'll eat off of the senior menu. We'll all have oatmeal and stewed prunes and then go home and have really healthy dumps. Like, let's ditch this guy and go do our homework. I don't know, it's gonna get weird out there. A little bit about me, I'm fairly unpleasant to look at. You know, come with me. I know this. I've dealt with it all my life. I'm unpleasant to look at, but I don't have a lot of shame about my appearance. I always tell people that I'm built like a candle. I'm pretty hot on top, but the rest looks like melting. I actually once used my appearance to get out of a seatbelt ticket in Reno, Nevada.
Woo! Reno!
Reno! That place sucks. No, I'm just messing with you. I like Reno. No, I actually said these words to a state trooper's face. I'm too fat for the belt. And then the state trooper stopped and he stared at me for 2 minutes like he was RoboCop. And he was using that computer brain to properly assess my lie. All that shit was coming up in green numbers. Too fat for the belt. 98% probability. On your way, citizen. But I'm like, I'm hot on top. I got this bitchin' beard and this long, luxurious hair, and people feel the need to compliment me on it a lot. And I always tell them, well, calm down there, man. What we're looking at here, we're looking at cheap, and we're looking at lazy. That's how this look happens. Cheap and lazy, and those are like two of my terrible character traits. And they're always at odds with each other, like they're playing a poker game or something. Like, I live like 8 blocks away from here. And you know what I did? I debated using my last $3 on a bus ride to come not very far, just because there was a hill on the way. So what I did was I made a deal with myself. I said, you know what you're gonna do? You're actually gonna walk to the show tonight, and then before you get there, you're gonna stop and you're gonna use that last $3 and you're gonna buy yourself a tall can of beer. And that's when I realized my other character flaw, alcoholism, had just pushed all in, and I didn't even know that he was playing. I've been accused of having a hipster beard, which is bullshit. This is a beard well earned. I've seen the inside of a jail cell and everything. You know how I got this beard? When I was in 5th grade, I punched a kid in the face, boom, beard. Hipster beard, man. They call it, they say hipster beard. I'm not even sure what that word hipster means anymore, man. It had a connotation back like when there was like jazz cats still walking around and shit like that. But the thing is when they call me a hipster, I'm like, fuck, where are you coming with that? You know what I think? I think the word hipster is thrown around because polite white people are unable to override the mechanism in their brain that makes them have to hate somebody. So they've just decided to hate other white people? Like, they'll be like, oh man, I need to hate somebody today. How about that guy? And it's like, oh no, that dude's Mexican. We can't do that anymore. Besides, look at him, he's working hard. But then they'll look over and be like, oh, check that out, man. There's a different kind of white guy than me, white guy. Man, he's wearing tight pants and Tom's shoes. Let's get him! I don't know, man. You know, looking like you do, it's like I do, it's difficult to like shop because one thing, first things first, is like I like to shop on the internet because it's convenient and because when you look like me, you do not want to bring another human being into the process it takes to adorn this. But I also can't, I had to go to a wedding last year. I had to go to a wedding last year, and when you go to a wedding, you have to get wedding clothes, and you can't shop for wedding clothes online. You have to get sized, and when you have to go get sized, that means on that day at least 2 people are going to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're walking around the store, like, look at me, I don't like shopping in stores anyway because it doesn't matter what store I go into, everybody always looks at me like I'm there to steal Sudafed. I'm like, come on man, this is the Macy's. So you guys don't even have Sudafed, will you please stop following me? What I'm working with here though is not good. Like from here to here is the only part of my body that doesn't grow hair unless you count a patch right here that feels like a cat's tongue. And up front here I got stretch marks that are so deep I can use them to store change. And a lot of people are afraid to go through the full body scanner at the airport because they're afraid you'll see their genitalia. I am not afraid of that whatsoever. In fact, I hope my lackluster cock is enough of a distraction to keep people from noticing what else is wrong with me. I don't even know why people are afraid to go through that anyway. I was like, what's so wrong with that thing? And somebody told me, well, if you go through the radiation can nuke your balls and you might not be able to have kids. And I was like, well, can I volunteer? I was like, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put a nail file in my shoe. That way, I can walk through the thing 5 or 6 different times just to make sure they get the job done right. Because then that way, I get a radioactive vasectomy, and then maybe somewhere down the line, I get involved in a class action lawsuit. And then everything's coming up Jason. Hey, you guys have been great. Thanks for listening tonight. I'm Jason Gold. Let's bring Sean Murphy back to the stage.